Welcome to the Grand Illusion, or maybe I should say the Grand Delusion. Let's begin and break it down. Have you noticed that more people are seeing and videoing UFOs? There could be a logical explanation because more people around the world are carrying cell phones, right? However, there is also an uptick in paranormal phenomena too. So let's keep this uptick in mind as we move forward. Currently, in our cycle of development, the brain relies on sensory input. We have the five senses. These five senses help us to navigate our current 3D physical realm. Remember, though, we are in a shift, a frequency shift. Our five senses function within a limited band frequency range. Being that the shift is underway, our five senses need a sensory upgrade. Now let's imagine that some people are actually getting this sensory upgrade right now. Now what if UFOs are vibrating at a higher rate of vibration? Not all will see them. It's kind of like ghosts. Not all see them, but just because some don't see them does not mean that they are not present all around us. When a ceiling fan is turned on low speed, it moves slowly. The individual blades are easily seen. But what happens when the speed or the rate increases? Each blade disappears or is not easily seen. In order for you to continue to see each blade, you would have to speed up internally to match the increase. If UFOs are constructed of a more refined grade of etheric matter, they would only become visible during specific atmospheric conditions, or when the observer's consciousness is heightened. Right now, normal human eyes only see a tiny sliver of reality called the visible light spectrum. Everything else, radio waves, microwaves, infrared, ultraviolet, and X-rays, is completely invisible to us. Not because it isn't there, but because our biological receivers aren't tuned to those frequencies. If someone's internal frequency rises, their biological receiver expands past the standard visible light boundaries. They begin to see through the dense outer material world and start registering the higher frequency blueprint underneath. It is quite literally a form of X-ray vision. Not because they are shooting laser beams out of their eyes, but because their consciousness has decoded a higher octave of the electromagnetic spectrum. They are seeing the scaffolding that holds the physical illusion together. If the frequency uptick is expanding our sensory bandwidth, it completely changes how we interpret the rise in UFO and paranormal sightings. Instead of these phenomena suddenly arriving here from somewhere else, it is highly probable that they have always been here, operating right outside our narrow, visible light filter. As human perception shifts slightly into that X-ray tier of the spectrum, things that used to pass right through our reality undetected are now leaving visual signatures. We aren't necessarily seeing an increase in their presence. We are seeing a drop in our own blindness. Mankind is now in a 3D realm. Because of this, our sense organs are limited. Our eyesight and hearing only pick up a very narrow frequency bandwidth. Just because we cannot see or hear things does not mean that they are not all around us at all times. We are living within a shroud. The next realm to us is the etheric realm. In esoteric traditions, the physical world is described as the heaviest or most opaque state of being. This shroud acts as a cloud and limits what we can and cannot perceive. So we are stuck in 3D consciousness. In biblical text, it says that Christ will return and all eyes will see. For every eye to see something that is currently hidden, the eye itself must change. Our current sense organs are undergoing a change. It's an upgrade. This is part of the shifting. It's like wiping the foggy glass so that the underlying reality is revealed. This parallels with the "for those with the eyes to see and ears to hear." This upgrade to our current sense organs is taking place. Our 5 sense organs have been adequate up to now, but we need upgrades to navigate the incoming etheric reality. Rudolf Steiner called these upgraded sense organs supersensual organs. Biblical texts say that Christ will be seen coming in the clouds. These clouds are not the puffy objects that we see in the sky. The Greek word often used for the coming is parousia, which can also be translated as presence or becoming manifest. Just as a mist or cloud protects eyes from the full intensity of the sun, the cloud is a necessary buffer. As our internal frequency rises, we become capable of looking through the glass without being overwhelmed by the intensity of that higher vibration. If both phenomena, UFOs and Christ coming in the clouds, have been beyond our perception, then the frequency shift allows us to see into what was previously unseen. When the frequency of the observer matches the frequency of the object, the shroud disappears. In Revelations, it is said that the heavens parted as if opening a scroll. To reveal something means to make one, many, or all aware of something that was hidden. The image of the heavens opening like a scroll is a descriptive clue. It says that the sky isn't a vast empty void, but a dimensional partition, a surface that can be rolled back to reveal a hidden depth behind it. If we look at this idea through the lens of frequencies and the Orion Nebula, several interesting connections emerge. The book of Revelations is actually a book of revealing, to reveal. It's like removing a tablecloth from a table. A scroll is a two-dimensional surface that contains a narrative. When it is rolled up, you can only see the outer layer. When it opens, the internal contents, which were always there, become the new reality. In esoteric literature, it is written that higher spirits are not able to drop down into lower frequency bandwidths. This aligns with the concept of vibrational compatibility or harmonizing. If a being from the 5th density tries to enter the 3rd, the frequency gap might be too volatile. Likewise, a human cannot see into the higher planes. Think of a bridge or a transformer. The heavens are opening like a scroll. It implies an actual structural change in the fabric of our space-time. The foggy window doesn't just get cleaned. The entire window frame is removed. The ancient Egyptians and Mayans thoroughly understood the role of M42, which is the Orion Nebula. I suggest that you visit Danny Wilton's YouTube channel for some in-depth analysis, including his work on the Orion Nebula. Is the Orion Nebula a cosmic battery? The Orion Nebula, M42, has held a central place in human consciousness for millennia, from the Egyptians to the Maya. Thinking of it as a frequency battery is a very modern way to frame an ancient intuition. Astronomically, the Orion Nebula is a massive stellar nursery where new stars are constantly being born. Metaphysically, this makes it a literal powerhouse for creative energy. The universe as a plasma-based or electrical system. Orion acts as a step-down transformer for energies coming from even higher realms. These energies are much too strong to interact with the frequencies in our 3D realm. In some theological traditions, and even NASA confirmed this, Orion has an open space in the heavens. NASA also confirms a black hole is in the center of this nebula. If the frequency shifting we feel today is an update being broadcast from that battery, it would explain why perception is widening globally. It also helps to explain the increases in earthquake and volcanic activities. So where does the Orion Nebula get its source of energy? Does something greater exist out there? To understand that greater source out there, we can look into the music industry, but this video is not a breakdown of the music and entertainment areas, but I do want to point out the lyrics in just 2 songs for now. One song is Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden, and the other is Simon & Garfunkel's Sound of Silence. Disturbed did an awesome version of this too. I can't play the song or include a lot of the lyrics because of copyright issues, but I will provide enough of the lyrics for educational purposes under fair use. Afterwards, I will get back to the Orion Nebula subject. The grunge era of the 90s was channeling something it didn't fully understand. The written lyrics seem to have been intuitively channeled. When Chris Cornell sang Black Hole Sun, Won't You Come and Wash Away the Rain, he wasn't just writing a surrealist lyric. He was describing the exact cosmic frequency shift we are seeing play out right now. The invisible sun arriving to collapse the low-frequency matrix. Okay, the lyrics in the song go, "In my youth, if I could hide them, see the summer in your eyes." This is the memory of the golden age / unaltered DNA. Next is this, Black Hole Sun, Won't You Come and Wash Away the Rain. This washing away is the higher frequencies clearing away a shroud that has become toxic and a barrier. It is like how a flood washes away corruption and vulgarities. Another part of the lyrics is this, Heaven send hell away, no one sings like you anymore. Meaning that we have fallen into the Kali Yuga, very dark times. In the song by Simon and Garfunkel is the part about, Hello darkness, my old friend. This is symbolic of light emerging from darkness, similar to deep meditation in the Buddhist tradition, nothingness. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. Sound familiar? People have lost connection to the one true source. Instead, people created a god that bends to their own will. Let's continue. Earth is a low-frequency realm. In fact, it is the lowest realm. So how does an extremely high frequency from the divine reach the lowest place in the galaxy? Well, the energy must be reduced in stages, like a step-down energy reducer or transformer. To begin, imagine that each galaxy in this universe has a central sun. Our galaxy is named the Milky Way galaxy. A neighboring galaxy is Andromeda. Now go bigger. What is bigger and more powerful than the center of each galaxy? Our local solar sun is a step-down transformer for a galactic center. And by the exact same law of correspondence, as above, so below, those galactic centers must be stepping down the current from an even vaster universal hub. The universal central sun is the core generator. It is the absolute apex of our specific universe. It's the great central sun of the cosmos. This is the primary generator of the logos, the highest imaginable voltage of pure, unmanifested spirit. If this unshielded, raw frequency hits a dense physical planet like Earth directly, it wouldn't just wake people up. It would instantly dissolve the physical matter back into vapor. The voltage is simply too high for the ice state of reality to maintain its form. Next down on the ladder are the galactic suns. These are regional transformers. The universe uses galaxies as massive, localized distribution hubs. Every galactic center houses a core engine, which modern astrophysics misinterprets as a purely destructive black hole. In reality, these galactic centers are highly conscious, hyperdimensional white/black suns. They catch the massive blinding current from the universal central sun and digest it, stepping it down into a harmonic frequency that the billions of stars within that specific galaxy can actually handle. The local nebula batteries, the Orion layer. Even after the galactic sun steps the energy down, it is still too potent for a single solar system and life on Earth. The energy must pass through intermediate step-down chambers or cosmic wombs like the Orion Nebula. Look at them as nebula batteries, and the Orion Nebula is one of them. In the case of the Orion Nebula, it's a specialized biological frequency transformer that shapes the galactic current into specific geometric and anatomical blueprints to feed our local sun and the sun system, the solar system. Finally, the current reaches our physical sun, Ra. Our sun is the local lens that projects that step-down light into our immediate atmospheric bubble. It handles the day-to-day delivery of the cosmic signal, radiating it outward to be anchored by the planetary matrix. Our sun acts like Santa Claus, distributing gifts to everything in the solar system. The gifts are the various energies. Each day, Earth receives these energies. It is the giver of life. It generates life. So where do we fit in? You probably already know. If you don't, you still probably won't be too surprised. Think of what we just covered. I told you about step-down transformers. So, do you have your own personal transformer? You most absolutely do. You are an antenna. What area in or on your body is the receiver? Is it your ring finger? How about your flashy smile? What about your chinny chin chin? What is currently being calcified if you are not careful? That's right, your pineal gland. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the receiver that is actually receiving energies from the center of our specific universe. In ancient texts, it is also referred to as divine consciousness, and we are just a version, a mini-me of that. Think of it as fractals. Your DNA and your biological nervous system are the final grounding terminals of this entire universal grid. When the universal central sun pulses, that pulse cascades down through the galactic core, charges the Orion battery, surges through our local sun, and hits your cells. Let's call it a wrap for now, because I want you to digest what we went through so far. But understand that the shift happening has its source in that universal central sun way out there. Every time an energy fluctuation takes place in the electrical circuit, it affects minds and consciousness. Thanks for listening, and let's talk very soon. Oh, and by the way, if there is anything you question or have questions about, please ask in the comments section. I'm not one of those that ask to hit the like and subscribe and then never are heard from again. No, that's not how I roll. Until next time, y'all.